gotta leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been golden when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Car era lore. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Reviews not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
40.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits, yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. If you've already done so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below, then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. We greatly appreciate it. It warms up the algo and does us a real solid. You also find up there the link to the YouTube chat, the abstract chat. We're live on my abstract today. X video feed also live. And as always, I'm Captain, my co-host Steve. Never any financial advice in this show. Crypto is risky, NFTs risky. Meme coins exceptionally risky. Go to zero to moments notice. Please don't money you can't afford to lose. Know that Steve. I hold tokens we'll talk about from time to time here in the show, including Ape and some others. We may even talk some liquidity providing today. We're not financial advisors. Certainly not your financial advisor. Don't join us for that. Just for some fun, some information, some education along the way. GM Steve, how you doing, sir?
GM, actually uploading the badge late. I forgot to do it this morning. So give me some air cover and cold open while I upload this.
I will. And oh my God, it just hit me the date. I
was thinking about that. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. I kid you not. I like, if you just happen to stumble in, I know most people don't. Most here are regulars and tune in every day. So we love you. We appreciate you. And you know by now that the first 15 minutes of the show is cold open. Steve and I kind of talk about whatever's on our mind. And then we get into crypto, Web3, and all things on chain and news of the day, special guests, etc. It's a conversation over coffee. I've got mine here, whether Steve's drinking his coffee or not. It's our authentic selves, and we share what's on our mind. And I understand people come to this show to often get away from, I may get emotional, man. I've never felt like this. Get away from real world tragedies and things going on online and elsewhere, and can fully respect and appreciate that. it would be disingenuous if I didn't share what was on my mind. And I, like yourself, took yesterday off social media, got offline. I had a few posts queued up. I didn't feel appropriate to send them yesterday. Even had one that was going to say I'm going to go offline the rest of the night, and didn't even send that. I was shaken, man. Yesterday was very sad. If you're on here, you likely saw, if you didn't see the video, you saw the news that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't care if you agreed with him, you disagreed with him. It's sad. It's a father, it's a husband, and whether I've never had the conscious thought, but as I reflected and saw a lot of videos, our tagline here, coined by Steve, is we pride ourselves on being able to disagree without being disagreeable. And I don't know if we've ever taken any inspiration from how Charlie handled his debates and his conversations, but man, I certainly will now going forward. He did absolutely that. He went into he didn't talk every day with people who mostly agree with him. He did the exact opposite and went in and had very difficult conversations with people who were absolutely disagreed with him and his beliefs and his opinions. And he carried himself with grace, and he would respectfully disagree. And that's how our society should function. We should be able to have a conversation with people who we don't see eye to eye with, who we don't agree with. And when the date just hit me, as I looked up at the top of my screen, see like very different. But the last time I felt a way about someone I've never met in my life losing their life was 9/11, and very different feelings. I in the days after 9/11, it's probably the most I've ever felt connected with other citizens of this country. It's probably the most I've ever felt like everyone was on the same team and together. Where conversely, while the tragedy is the tragedy, and it's just absolutely awful. Like no one should ever lose their lives over something they said. Like he wasn't harming anyone. I think my bigger, like, what's weighing heavy on me is, or just as heavy, is some of the response just disgusting. And I don't know another way to put it. Just despicable. It almost makes me embarrassed to be an American because of many. And it's not just Americans, I know that, but some of the takes, some of the people celebrating another man's death is just absolutely vile. And I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how I feel, but I like I said, I know people don't want to talk about this. Probably people didn't tune in to hear about this. Like I said, I'd just be disingenuous. It's on my mind. It's probably going to be on my mind most of the rest of the day today, and maybe longer. And yeah, it's just absolutely tragedy. And sorry for going there and bringing people down if that's not what they wanted to tune in for. But it shook me, man. And I haven't been shook like that since 9/11. I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm just sharing my personal feelings, my personal thoughts, and just very sad. My thoughts and thinking about his wife and his kids and others close to him. I can't imagine. And for people who show up every day here and pride ourselves on being able to disagree without being disagreeable, he did that just on a much, much, much larger scale. And I hope we can have discourse and communicate without hating people who disagree with us. And oftentimes, Steve, it's not, we're alike in so many ways. I mean, we're the same species. We have far more in common than we have not in common. Even if we're on polar opposite sides of a political spectrum, it's just, I don't know, man. It's sad. I don't even know what else to say about it, but I had to get it off my chest because it's weighing on my mind. And we will get into crypto and Web3 stuff here in a minute. But yeah, eerie that you said, give you some air cover. And I looked up and realized it's actually 9/11 today. So thoughts for all those families as well. It's just, again, this is not a drama show. This isn't a tragedy show, but it is our authentic selves, and that's how I'm feeling today.
Yeah, there's a lot. I was pretty shook yesterday. So I didn't agree with a lot of what Charlie Kirk's opinions were at various times. I actually am in the camp of people. I watch people I disagree with quite often. Sometimes I agreed with him, sometimes I didn't, but I watch people I disagree with. I love watching debate. I love watching discussions.
And those were about as good as you could possibly do for a debate, for a discussion. Like they were respectful, like, and not always at him, but I don't think I ever once saw him lose his cool. And sometimes like I would have handled myself differently if some of the things that were said to him or some of the verbal attacks. It's just like, man, like we lost a really, like a good human. Whether you believe with his thoughts or his beliefs, we lost a good human, someone who wasn't harming others and was a good orator. That was it. Like it's very hard to do that in any setting. It's extremely hard to do that in a public setting where you're in the minority, you're the wolf in the lion's den, so to speak. And it's a real talent. And beyond the talent, it's just like, again, we don't have to agree with everything he said, but I from everything I've seen, it's like he's not a bad person. He wasn't out there trying to hurt people.
Yeah, like I said, I there's a lot of I have a lot of thoughts. I mean, and like you said, it being 9/11 always kind of conjures some feelings too. I mean, I think, I think with like the Charlie Kirk, killing, it's like it's crazy, and there's so many things that are up in the air. Like it's a good chance they never find who killed him because it looked like it was a trained sniper in all black on a roof hitting a shot from 200 yards away. Anybody, if you golf for reference, it's like a 4-iron. Think about what 200 yards is, and or whatever you hit 200 yards. It's like, think about how deep that is and hitting a precision spot like that with the wind, with the crowd, with the noise, with everything, and having an escape route. So like, who knows who did what or how it worked? Because I'm always like, again, like I'm not going to sugar shame it. My antennas are very strongly up when something like that happens. Like this is not a person who bought a gun at a gun shop, went to the range a couple times, showed up and took a shot. This is very professional. And even the fact that somebody yelled, "I did it" or something in the crowd and got pulled beforehand and started making a scene, like, which gives some air cover for going away. There's a lot of sketchy things there, right? And I'm not trying to go down that route this morning, but my point being is that to what you said, the reaction from some of the people on social media is what makes you kind of sick, right? It's like
what's wrong with people, man? Like I can't fathom thinking like you could tell me a person like I actually despise, like someone I dislike, I would be sad if they lost their life. Like they're human beings. Like what, I can't imagine celebrating someone else losing their life. It is disgusting.
Yeah, there's extreme. It takes an extreme context, right? Like, the Osama bin Laden killing, right? Like that sort of thing. Like it's very different when an American, I mean, America is a country founded on religious freedom and free speech.
Yeah. Part of what makes our country great. And kill someone who is just, living his freedoms. Like it's awful.
Right. Exercising both of those, right? I mean, like it was like, I didn't always agree with his views on religion, his free speech and how he put things, right? And I think that's what people felt strongly about, particularly people that, but I, it's like to have somebody who is exercising religious freedom and free speech in a way that isn't inciting violence, or anything like that. And then, that's what happens. It's just, so that was tough. And, there's that. And then like you said, it's 9/11 and like, look, I mean, my family's from New York, like a lot of people I know affected. My whole family's from New York. Like my parents grew up in New York. My grandfather was a New York City firefighter who like heard voices on command calls of people who were kids in the force when he was growing up, who were in the towers and didn't make it out. Right. Like there are sounds of like people calling who were running up the stairs when everyone was running down and they didn't make it out of the towers. And like my grandfather worked with or knew some of those people, right? I think about like, like I remember, and I think I've told the story before in the show, but like I was getting ready to go to college. It was going to be my freshman year at Ohio State. I woke up, kids sleeping in at, I don't remember what time it was. And back then you had answering machines, you had home phones. I had like 15 messages from my dad who was in New York on my answering machine. And it was like progressively worse where like, at first he assumed that like it was like a prop plane that flew on. And he's like, I don't know if because like news didn't travel like it was now. There wasn't Twitter. There wasn't Facebook. This was 2001. Social media didn't exist at the time. Think about that. Social media didn't exist. The closest thing you had was AOL. So you had the television and you had people cutting into shows. And my dad was like, yeah, New York's a heck of a place to be right now. Sounds like a plane, flew into one of the Twin Towers. Crazy, yada, yada, yada. And then like each message got progressively more grim. My dad didn't move me into college that year because he was stuck in New York because I went to college the next week and he couldn't get out. He eventually got on like a train, which was another train, which eventually got him home. But yeah, I mean, like, we kind of back up and it's easy to like, forget what that time was like. And it was a crazy, crazy tragedy when you think about what happened there that day. And then you think about, yesterday, and I felt some type of way as well. It's like, I don't know, like, I just worry, man. It's like the way stuff escalates and gets heated. It's like what makes America awesome is that we can come on here and yell about how anti-crypto policies piss us off, and we don't go to jail. We don't get arrested. We can talk about, Nancy Pelosi's trading strategies and nobody's coming after us. And when you see stuff like that come into question and being a problem, I don't know, like that's where I worry a little bit about it. And yeah, it's pretty sick. It's like you said, like, hey, it's free speech. If people want to celebrate someone's death, it's disgusting to me, but I don't know, man. It's a rough thing when you see stuff like that happening in a country that's based on these ideals and values. And yeah, man, I struggle with it. And I don't know. There's so many thoughts related to this that I don't want to go too deep on for the sheer reason that I don't want to I don't want to say anything I regret or say anything that maybe I don't want to miss the plot on anything. And it's all reactionary. It's one of the reasons why yesterday there were some people in the DJ Network War Room who we were talking about, we were talking about it and we all said like, look, everybody chill the fuck out. Nobody like don't like wait till you take a beat before you say anything. And I'm going to do the same and exercise my same thoughts there on yesterday. But yeah, it's a shaky time and it's an emotional day, I think, for a lot of us. And I think for my kids grow up learning about 9/11 like Pearl Harbor in the sense that, or the Kennedy assassination or whatever it may be, whatever you want to pick, where my kids can't conceptualize it, right? They don't conceptualize exactly what happened and how it happened. They cover it in slideshows to remember it, but like you can feel that the tragedy doesn't hit them. Like for our generation, like this was such a seminal moment where the way you travel on airplanes, we literally are just putting our shoes back on when we get in the security line in airplanes, right? It's like the way you travel changed, the way you moved about changed. You were terrified for months. There were alerts of different colors in the airports and like you were confused. You didn't know when the next one was going to happen. Every time you were on a plane, you were afraid to fly. Like it changed. Like the way that COVID is going to change my kids as a generation, because they are going to be intrinsically affected by being home, not with their classmates. I'm not making a statement on COVID one way or the other. It's just a matter of they will be affected by it. It's how our generation was affected by 9/11 to a degree in a very different way. Like every sort of generation or a lot of generations get their sort of like tragedy, so to speak, or their thing that hits them. And 9/11 was ours. And it's weird looking at my kids and being like, you get it, but you don't get it. So yeah, so it's a hard thing to explain to people the same way I didn't get Pearl Harbor, the same way I didn't get the Kennedy assassination, same way I didn't get those things growing up. I covered them like in history. 9/11 is one of those things that you just can't explain to somebody who wasn't of age at that point. Other thing I'll say, and then I'll kind of give it a beat and you can take it any direction you want, or we can move from it, is like social media is, I think, good and bad in a sense that, prior to social media, most Americans, very privileged, myself included, could not visualize what violence is.
Yep.
I didn't know. You hear someone stabbed, you hear someone shot. You can't visualize it. Now you see it, and it's haunting, up close and personal.
I'm old enough to remember where they were concerned about violence in video games for us. Like, well, you can't play that video game because it's got violence. In like VGA style graphics. Where Straight Pressure says in the chat, social media has desensitized all of us. Do you understand the chances, to your point, do you understand the chances of seeing a murder in the 90s before the internet? Now even kids can see murders every day on their phones. He asked his son if he heard about Charlie's murder yesterday. He said, yeah, it is like, my daughter posted about this. Like, it breaks my heart, man. Like, it's sad, and I don't know the answer. I don't have an answer, but Husker kind of nails it too. I think in the abstract chat says one of the big problems in the last 15 years, we've forgotten the simple concept of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We have a generation of kids now raised that you should feel hurt by words, and others say, even if it isn't directed at you. We've come to the point where he's even seen people who are offended on behalf of other people. And nothing is that deep. Nothing is that deep worth taking someone's life over. Like, nothing is, it's just, I don't know, man. All of it kind of hit me in many ways. And grateful to be here. Called my mom last night and told her I love her. Like, it's just, all life is short. You never know. And it was some of those feelings like that I hadn't. I'm like, by nature, I'm an optimistic person. I like to see the best in people, and I don't watch the news. I don't get pulled down by things that I can't control. And I know there's shootings and tragedies and people lose their lives every day, but I haven't felt this way in quite a while. And we can get into the other we got CPI coming here in about 9 minutes. We got a special guest joining us at 9. So if you haven't done so yet, give us that like, repost on the show. We would appreciate it. Love of a packed house. We will shift tone here momentarily and get things on a serious but not traumatic or dramatic tone. And I don't know what else to say. My thoughts go out to everyone affected by the murder yesterday, by the events of 9/11, and it's for all that to be said, I'm grateful that we are able to share what's on our mind. I appreciate you for spearheading our tone on this show and our unofficial tagline of being able to disagree without being disagreeable. It's how I've lived my life. It's how you live your life. And we need more of that in this world. I think that's the solve for a lot of this, is being tolerant, is realizing that we're far more similar than we are different, even if we disagree on everything from a belief and a view standpoint. It's okay to think differently than someone else. It doesn't mean they're evil. It doesn't mean and this is part of the reason I don't affiliate with any political party, because they're both gross at times, and they take shots at the other people on the other side because they disagree on one particular subject or one particular topic. And it's like, get out of here. Like, it's just so, and sometimes maybe it is for sensationalism and impressions and to get, part of the beauty of humans is we are different, and that's a good thing. Life would be really boring if everyone walked around and thought and did all the same stuff. So I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate everyone who tunes in every day. And it's not often that we go deep thoughts with Cap and Steve, but like I said, I just wouldn't feel right if we opened the show with any other topic today, because it's, quite frankly, it's mostly what I've thought about for the last 12 hours or so.
Yeah, I mean, I literally logged off yesterday and didn't log on until this morning. Didn't do a normal GM or whatever tweet. I was like, it's shaking.
I felt dirty doing a GM post this morning. Like, that's just like it would be worse than disingenuous if we didn't hit on it, because it is. I got to respect. Tough day. And if you're feeling away and you need to get off social media, go do your thing. Like, we'll be here tomorrow. It's not. We'd love to support, but it's sometimes you just need to check out, go hug your loved ones, and disconnect from this world. And if you haven't, if you missed the video yesterday, my recommendation would be don't go hunting for it. Don't go look for it.
It's crazy to think that our kids could easily see that, though, right? It's like, I mean, you kind of hit on that. It's like my kids, my 11-year-old son or my 13-year-old daughter, it might show up in a group text.
A million times worse than any video game I played. I know that for sure.
I mean, and this was not a big deal. Like, it wasn't meant to be a thing, but somebody was talking about it yesterday in a Telegram I was in. I won't say what Telegram, and they shared it, and the bot in the Telegram shared a tweet with the video, and it autoplayed. And it was like, that can happen. last thing I'll kind of say on it, because like, yeah, it's like it is very heavy. If you are in the age range of somebody who experienced 9/11, like, you know, around whether you're in your like 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever that age range is, I very strongly recommend going to the 9/11 Museum in New York. I have been once, and it's probably the most powerful museum experience I've ever done in my life, and I don't think it's particularly close, actually, when I think about it. It is so incredibly well done. It's got the faces of the people. It's got, you know, things from, you know, destroyed fire engines. It's built at ground zero where you can see a retaining wall that's still built from the original towers. When you go down into like the depths of it, it's got, you know, voices, you know, phone calls and videos and historical, you know, news coverage. And I don't know, Cap, next time you're in New York, I believe when we talked last, you hadn't hit it. I would recommend, like, I'll go with you, man. If we're in New York together, like, it's like, it is a thing that a lot of people want to sort of avoid because of the sadness of it and all that. But like,
sometimes you need to feel that. Sometimes you need to sit in that, and especially if you've ever like, I don't know, man. It probably do a lot of people that were posting vile stuff online yesterday would probably think twice about it if they sat and actually thought about some of these things.
Yeah, but yeah, it's worth it. I mean, we took my kids again. You could tell they can't quite grasp it. It's like when I've gone to certain like really powerful museums, like you feel something at the Holocaust Museum, but you feel something at the Holocaust Museum if you were alive or a kid in the 40s, in the 30s. You know what I mean? Like. Or even my you know, my parents born shortly after that, and maybe you could still feel it a little bit. It's like when you go to certain museums or certain places, if you experience it, you feel it. And the 9/11 Museum is one that it's so beautifully done. But at the same time, it's like you said, you sit in it, you feel it. But yeah, but we can move through. But yeah, it was a, you know, tough day yesterday. You know, crazy for the nation. And I just hope that it doesn't lead to like, and this is the scary part to me, is like a lot of history books have those moments that are like tipping points where they have those things that show the escalation. Like I was thinking about how history books read it yesterday, and like, this just feels like one of those history book moments when it was like, you know, a prominent right-wing commentator was assassinated and it's like, I just hope it doesn't start, tensions further in all directions, because people are mad and they're looking for something, you know, they understandably so, and everybody reacts differently. So yeah, just thinking about, you know, all those things, it's a lot, and it's a lot to cover. And man, you know, sort of one of those days. But look, we'll get on to some Web3 topics. We'll cheer it up a little bit. I'm sure we'll make plenty of jokes this morning and move through things, but would be, you know, not intellectually honest. Captain and I didn't talk about how we're feeling on a given day. And I think yesterday it's like I logged off. I spent time with my kids. Like I literally logged off. My son and I went to the basement and worked out. We hung out together, you know, hugged my daughter, like literally, you know, spent time with my wife. And that's sort of how I, you know, coped with it and moved through. But man, I will say, you know, the market itself, we can kind of pivot to green. So yeah, we are moving up.
I meant to have my plans were to open some extra longs right before the show, because I think the CPI print's going to send things, and I can't switch my. Too late to go to Bahamas this morning, Steve.
Yeah, I have not done a really good job with the longs and the shorts. So you've been, you know, I've been, you know, Mayhem and Phonics have been trying to get me on lighter for quite some time. Again, probably not going to do the Ape Soul LP this morning. I didn't have time to look into it yesterday. Got a little distracted, and then, you know, with everything going on, it's actually a really wide range, which is kind of odd. Like I'm hoping that I'm going to actually talk to Simple Farmer and see if they'll seed a tighter range, because the fees are not going to be very high on the Meteora pool. But you know, it's just getting started, obviously.
So I didn't realize, like, they're setting that. It's not your choice to set the range. The range is just set.
On Meteora, yes. So here's the problem, is that this is why yesterday I made a comment that in liquidity pools, like if you're on Project X, you set your own range. 100%, right? And I do that. On Meteora,
news. Sorry to interrupt. Go right back to you. CPI came in at expectations. It was 2.9% year over year. U.S. core CPI plus 3.1% year over year. They're estimated at 2.9 and 3.1. So I think that means we get our rate cuts next week and higher, as the kids would say.
Higher we go. Yeah, I consider it. Mayhem's telling me I can adjust the ranges on Meteora, so I got to look, because as I understand Meteora, it's got this bin step of 20 or whatever the number is. So I got to look. I mean, I think you can autofill some certain things in it, but I got to do more research on Meteora specifically. But basically, the way LP typically works is you slide in and out the ranges of how much you want to play with. Meteor itself at least has these traditional bin steps that I use, so I got to look at how I adjust the ranges on there. Mayhem says maybe not all but most. So I'll drop the link to the LP and maybe he'll educate me this morning. He's been super helpful. But yeah, the range, when I said Meteora is good for beginners but not necessarily good if you're doing quite a bit, it's like the 8 pool on there is super wide as far as the range goes. Not a lot of liquidity and action either at the moment. So like, at least as of right now, I mean, you're talking about $5,000 in 24-hour volume or something, like something pretty. It's pretty low. So I'm not going to play with the Meteora pools just yet on Ape Soul. But we'll show people how to do that in the future. Like if I'm reading this right, it says total value locked is $93. So I'm probably not donating quite a bit, although I'll double check on that as well. But yeah, man, it's it's definitely again, for me personally, the pools have been good in printing as this has all been happening. Again, to give you an example, total value locked is 5.5 million in the one that I'm in on Sol USDC, with 24-hour volume of 6.2 million. So getting the ape going in the liquidity pool soon enough. But like I said, just waiting on that a little bit.
Month over month payments just a titch higher. It was expected at 0.3%, came in at 0.4%, but I still think we are good to resume up only here.
Yeah. I think so too. And I agree, similar to that. Mayhem and like I said, Mayhem and Phonics have been trying to get me on lighter to do some longs and some shorts. I just haven't done it because I've just been busy with other things. So I haven't gotten a chance to open quite as many positions as I'd like. That said, I mentioned it yesterday. I'm probably exposed to 20 airdrops in various ways over the next 6 months. And just hoping that they, continue to, these airdrops continue to airdrop and be, a beautiful thing, because you want to print them, right? But Meteor is one of those. Obviously, I mentioned Hyperliquid, and so I've been inactive, but I have wanted to open some longs because I do think, similar to you, and we talked about it yesterday, I don't think this is all baked in. Like, I think people are acting like this is baked in, but the fact that we keep seeing it go up, I don't think it's baked in. And that's just hopium.
I was listening to Modern Market. I didn't see. I don't have. Did you happen to catch the handle that there was someone who gave a breakdown of like all these are typically basically top signals as far as like economy and macro stuff. Did you catch that by chance?
I missed that part. I saw that Funky was talking about it, and B-Check were going to bring it up, but I missed it getting the kids ready.
It was one of the Real Vision writers. I'll see if I can go find it, because I agree wholeheartedly. It's just like the things that you expect in a Pico top euphoric moment in the market, none of them are there. Like, we're not there on any front, really. It's just assets are, gold and Bitcoin and stock markets all high, but relative to what? Itself. And the dollar continues to depreciate. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't think we're anywhere near the end of the cycle, in my opinion. Maybe we get cuts and it starts to turn that way, but I think most, if not all, the indicators of like a Pico top, none of them have hit. I'll see if I can go find the tweet.
Yeah, I will say, the thing about a black swan is you don't see a black swan coming. So who knows? But at least at the moment,
black swan's excluded. Sure, anything could happen and could really send us. But if we don't get a black swan, I don't think we're anywhere close to being done this cycle. I don't think we're anywhere close to the top.
Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it. Feels like we are in a pretty good spot. But again, people will pull up. The thing about chartists, I love people who do charts, but like chartists are the people who like it's bull because of this, it's bear because of this, and they basically just pull it up and have the chart tell the story they want to tell. I don't know if I really don't know or couldn't tell you if the charts are good, bad, ugly, but it sounds like I agree. Like I kind of heard that was the implication they said, is that we're not near the top. So hopefully continue to cook. I have some thoughts on some places that people can play around. I need to put out more content about like where I'm farming these airdrops. It's just hard to explain sometimes, and I need to just do more videos and things. It's just finding the time to do so. But
I got it. I got the check. I got the text. Julian Biddle says, I've been seeing a lot of chatter on X about peak cycle and how the economy looks late cycle. So I wanted to tackle this head on and share a few thoughts of my own. This is from the August 21st MIT publication. A classic late cycle economy typically has all the following ingredients. Manufacturing sentiment is extreme. Service sentiment is extreme. Homebuilder sentiment is extreme. Consumer confidence is high. Worker confidence is high. Investor sentiment is very bullish. Small business confidence is high. Job openings and hiring plans are rising. Wage data and surveys showing accelerating pay increases. CEO confidence is strong and CapEx is booming. Now, I could add more to this, but when you score all these inputs and turn them into a single time series, here's what you get. Chart 1. I'll post this up top so anyone wants to dive deeper, because I can't. This is beyond my pay grade in my brain space. It's a long post, but the TLDR is right now we're nowhere near that. In fact, the opposite is true. The only thing that I think maybe maybe investor sentiment is very bullish, but everything else we're nowhere near what typically marks the top of cycles.
Yeah,
let me go so I can pin it up top.
I mean, it feels good, man. It feels like we are in a pretty good spot. I saw Joey Valls come up with his hand up. Joey Valls, go ahead and get in here, GM.
It's crypto related, not on the direct topic you guys talk about. So I don't know if you want me to wait till you guys are done with this.
Are you going to talk about how you're upset you didn't get your $28 from CyberKongs?
No, not at all. I don't care about that.
Go ahead.
It would have paid for our Chipotle dinner last night, though, which is what I was hoping to get. So I'm a little disappointed, but no, I don't want to talk about that. I didn't deserve anything, so I don't care that I didn't get it.
Yeah. No, go off, Joey Valls. We got a few topics on this morning, but go ahead and see if it's maybe you have one of them.
Joey, I'm going to listen. I'm just going to refill my coffee, but I can hear you.
Oh, I'm gonna do the same, and I'm gonna do it on. Yeah, go ahead, Joey. I might do the same on. Actually, no, go ahead. I'm gonna save my coffee. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me? Is it working on the streams again or no?
Oh no,
we're good.
You're great. You're great. Captain's filling his coffee. I was debating doing the same, and then go ahead.
I dropped this in the war room yesterday, and this is now the third quote unquote like strategic reserve. And I'm going to preface with like at BZ we have no affiliation with any of these outside of them just utilizing our vault for their collectibles. But yesterday another collectible strategic reserve came out. This one's a Pikachu strategic reserve to go along with the Charizard strategic reserve, and then Red Cap, which is just a general TCG strategic reserve. Red Cap doesn't have a token yet. Charizard has Zard, Pika has Pikachu has Pika, and somebody in the war room, Crocs, had a really good question, and I don't know how to. So the idea behind these is that these tokens represent what is in the being held in the reserve, right? So like if they buy, like right now, I think the Pikachu reserve has like 6 to 8 Pikachus in it. The Charizard one, I think, is well over 20 now, getting close to 30 with some very expensive cards. And Crocs had a question of like, by buying these tokens, the idea is that by buying these tokens, you're buying into the reserve, right? And you're kind of backing that these cards are going to continue to go up in price and they're going to continue to fill the reserve. But he was like, do you have fractional ownership? And it got me thinking of like where we've talked about this, 3 years ago in the NFT space about how like fractional ownership with NFTs makes so much sense and blah, blah, blah. So like, what should these projects be doing? Or is there a way for them to do this where me going out and buying Zard or Pika, there is some feeling that I have fractional ownership? Like, should they be doing something that guarantees that they're not just going to sell these assets one day and then there's nothing in the reserve and the token goes to zero? Because I think we're going to see more of this. I don't, like we mentioned OpenSea, right? Buying NFTs to put into an NFT reserve, right? So like, what is the security behind this for us buying these tokens or believing that OpenSea is not just going to sell all the NFTs one day? Is there something that should be done?
So is this a situation where, see, I'm not super familiar with these. I know there's, people tracking them in reserves. Is this a situation where very similar to, so Rally Road back in the day would, like I still own fractional shares somewhere of.
I can't hear you, Steve, if you're talking. I can see that you're talking on stream, but I can't hear you on Spaces.
Is it not? Oh, Cat must, yeah.
What's
chopping up his coffee, so it must not be pushing through.
Can you hear him now?
Yeah. What about now?
Joey,
can people in this?
Now there's an echo.
There's an echo because I was coming through the thing. You try to talk, Cap.
Joey, can you hear Steve now?
No, still don't hear you on Spaces, Steve. But I can see your lips moving on the stream.
Yeah, and he doesn't hear you either, Cap. You're not. There's no sound coming through your. On the Spaces, Cap.
I can hear you now on Spaces. You're good.
You're good. Okay, cool. You can hear Steve too.
There we go. There's no sound coming through the thing.
You guys sound a little far away than normal, but I can hear you again.
Yeah, there was no sound coming through the I was looking in the Spaces and your thing wasn't even moving, so it wasn't like there wasn't like sound coming through your host
It's weird, man. I don't know, like I'll just leave the mic up. So my apologies in advance if anyone hears a mobile stream drop. But previously I could turn my mic down and it wouldn't mute the space. I didn't change anything. We'll power through. Yeah. So again, my apologies in advance if anyone hears my mobile stream drop.
What I was gonna say is like the like the thing about these reserves, which I don't understand, is because I'm not involved in any of them. I don't own any of them. I'm not positive. And yeah, Von Farton said YouTube can hear everybody. I think that's because my mic is coming through just fine, but like the soundboard going to the Spaces is the issue.
But we're good now. Everyone on Spaces can hear Steve. Everyone's. I assume everyone can catch the all channels. Abstract's good.
Yeah, I think we're good now. I think we're yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I need to turn the sound back up a little more. Not a ton, but it's lower. Says Pain. So jack it up a little bit higher. What I don't know about this, so Joey's asking about the strategic reserves that people are building with like Pokemon cards, which just the concept of hearing the concepts Pikachu strategic reserve is a hilarious thing to say out loud. Like, and he's like, of course, following the Charizard strategic reserve, which again, it is following the Charizard strategic reserve, but also hilarious to say out loud. My question is this like Rally Road? So at Rally Road, I own a piece of like Deaton, a Triceratops skull, not a actual physical piece, but a fractional share. Rally Road, I own, a piece of the flat copies of the Declaration of Independence.
Did Duke do something while I was away? Is that the problem? I wonder if Duke hit the soundboard.
It's possible he's there.
I mean, your camera was off, so we couldn't tell if Duke walked over and did something.
Yeah. I'm perplexed. I really don't know. I shouldn't have operated this way, but we're just gonna leave it. We'll keep going. I'll figure it out later.
So my question, Joey, is like, is this only tying to the price of the assets that they hold? And if they were to sell these assets, the token goes to zero, or is there an agreement in some way that you buy this and you get a distribution if they sell it? Basically saying if they sell it for $100,000, you get what your shares are worth, and that's that, and they cash it out because you own those fractional pieces. That's the tricky part, and that's where I get sketched out by a lot of these things where it's like, it does seem like a house of cards and a loophole where it's like, I could go buy a bunch of Pikachu cards, raise a bunch of money, and then sell the PGQ cards and be like, sorry, it went to zero. Too bad. So sad. If there isn't that level of agreement and consumer protection there, it's one of the reasons why it's not a popular take to say that regulation in crypto is a good thing, but regulation in crypto in this instance would be a good thing where you weren't able to actually cash out in those sort of situations. Like they need to basically say, like, if there's a physical asset that is backing this reserve and you sell that physical asset, the people who are holders of the token are then granted the equivalent and requisite, payment there, or else whatever, right? I mean, it's got to be, and there should be things should be registered. So I think that's my question about these things and why I question the meta as a whole, because if there aren't those consumer protections, I have no interest in buying into a Pikachu or Charizard strategic reserve if there is a risk of them selling and the token becoming a liquid. When CryptoPunks, when I got fractional shares of CryptoPunks with Punks Comics, the appeal to that is that I was earning Punks tokens, which always had a value based on the value of the Punks. So there just needs to be something in place that is, I think, actually keeping the consumer safe here. I don't know what that looks like, but I have some thoughts. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the question, right? So it got me thinking because OpenSea announced they're gonna have an NFT strategic reserve, right? Where they're gonna be buying up all these, NFTs that are gonna be, they're gonna use the C token to buy up NFTs. I believe that's what they said, right?
They are buying it. So they're doing a couple things. They are buying NFTs for their own sort of strategic reserve. And then they are also using money from the royalties to buy NFTs. Half the money from the royalties, I believe, is the number, to buy NFTs, which they're going to distribute to people who participate in the rewards program. So you might open a box and get a friggin' CryptoPunk, for example.
Half the money from fees, not royalties, but half.
I'm sorry, for the fees. Yeah,
they have the market.
Yeah, so
1%.
So that's kind of the question, right? Like looking at these strategic reserves that are popping up, right? Like whether it's the Pikachu, the Charizard, whether it's OpenSea, right? And again, this is probably above my pay grade, which is I'm asking because I'm not a developer, right? So if there isn't a direct tie, whether that's through smart contracts or whatever, and by the way, I'm a fan of what they're doing. I think this is really cool. This is a great use of, stored value, right? Like, I think the Charizard vault has like 37 Charizards in it right now. And, their plan is to continue to grow and build the brand and all this stuff, right? So I think this is really cool. But the question is, like, as a consumer, if it's not specified that, if there's only ever going to be 1 billion Zard tokens, right? And the only way that somebody can sell any of the Charizards that are backing Zard is to acquire all 1 billion tokens, right? And again, I don't even know if that's something that's possible through smart contracts and stuff. What is there to protect us from anybody starting one of these strategic reserves if are we just buying a token saying like, yeah, this token's going to go up because the reserve is going to go up and they're going to keep adding assets and the asset value is going to keep going up. And we trust that they're not going to sell all these assets and then the token goes to zero.
I think that's the problem. I don't think we have a clear answer on that. And that's where I think like there needs to be like this is where things like regulations matter. Where again, people don't like when I say this because they're like very anti-regulations in Web3. I get it. Like people are like decentralization, yada, yada, yada. I get it. I'm very supportive of decentralized money and all that. Like they give you sort of that whole thing about, having more regulations around this stuff. It's not what it's meant to be. Get it. The reason why regulations matter on this sort of thing is that if you want more consumers to have access to this sort of thing and this sort of technology, that is where the rubber meets the road a little bit in my mind, where you are, you have to be concerned about like, can someone just buy something and sell it? Or if you were to open a fund, so to speak, based purely on, owning physical assets, then you must back those physical assets with, whatever, that's what I guess is the thing that you need to worry about. So I don't have an answer, but yeah, I could tell you that
I mean, I do
my
think,
concern.
again, I do think this stuff is really cool. And I do think this is just the start of it, right? Like the idea, like Rally Road, which you talked about, is a really cool Web2 company, right? Where you can buy fractional shares of all kinds of stuff. And I think there's a future where where all of those assets are tokenized and put on chain and then sold as NFTs and right. So I do love this idea of a strategic reserve. Even what OpenSea is doing, I'm assuming that the strategic reserve they're creating of the NFTs is supposed to be somewhat tied to the C token, saying like, hey, listen, if we ever need to, let's say they ever needed liquidity, it's like, okay, so if we could sell these assets in the strategic reserve to then, inject capital back into the C token or whatever, right? So I do love the idea of having strategic reserves with digital assets. It's just, I think we're like, what is the next iteration and where do we go with it? Because I think we need more, from your point, we need more trust out of the consumers, because I think if there was more trust and there were laws, I think all of these strategic reserve tokens would be flying because of what's backing them compared to other tokens where it's typically just speculation, where these have actual assets with real value backing them.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to follow. I'll be curious to see what kind of rules come out about it, because yeah, to your point, there's certainly opportunity. And
Steve, if you're talking, we can't hear you on Spaces again.
Yeah, Cap.
I didn't. I mean,
you're not coming through in Spaces.
What the?
Nope, now you guys are back now.
Perplexed.
Nope, you're gone again.
Well, we weren't saying anything there. I'm totally perplexed. I have no idea.
You're back again now. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening this morning. Truly no clue.
I need to get on the phone, fly ride, and set up my soundboard ASAP. But yeah, no, man. It'll be interesting to follow, Joey. I think like when more regulations and rules come in place where there actually is consumer confidence, I think it's interesting because people want access to all sorts of things, and it'll make it'll make it a little bit more approachable for a lot of people. That said, Cap, I know it's 8:52. We got a daily market update. We got to sneak into more. We could also do it on the back half if the Mega ETH folks are joining us after they join us. If people want to pick up the badge, I think a lot of people have figured it out already, but it's op.xyz/claim. So you're going to go to open page, formerly other page, op.xyz/claim, and you're going to want to put CWC 911 in it. So CWC 911, it's the date. But CWC 911 is going to get you claiming that badge today. You're gonna want to pop on there.
Someone just claimed that badge. Heard the sound.
Yep, that was Cap. So CWC.
I'm not touching anything to mute, so you guys going to deal with any odd noises coming from my computer or my body today.
Yeah, just don't click on tabs that don't click on tabs with sound. But CWC 911 is going to be the code that'll get you done today on op.xyz. Again, they just recently did the update. Get on there, claim it. You get entered to win thousands of dollars in prizes from Ape. Owning a single badge enters you. Owning all the badges enters you for the grand prize.
Speaking of, I had to go. I said I was going to full port MetaMask to Rabby previously. I did most my hot wallets, if not all, but I hadn't moved over someone said something about hardware wallets. So I had moved all those over. It is like literally broken. I couldn't get anything done. I couldn't even send transactions with MetaMask yesterday from the Grid Plus. I finally ported them over. I think I got most. There's still a few. There's still a few of those I need to get sent out, but I got probably half of them done yesterday. The rest will go out this morning.
Yeah, we got 108 to give away today, so let's maybe just give it to Mel because I know she's going through it a little bit, and Loyal showing up on X just for us, so we'll get Mel's address. So Mel, if you're listening out there right now, get your address to Cap, and we'll get you done there. We may have even already given her one. I don't even know. We'll see. But we got plenty to give out. Do you have a running list of who we've done the 108 for?
Yeah, I had a really good start at it, and then the move in last week just no, it's not complete now. I can go back and get it, but
yeah, see what you can pull at least from what you got. Just that way we can make sure we are not doubling up too much and we're helping out.
I think Mel is a double, but that's okay.
Yeah,
first week, I'm still waiting. I need her address.
Yeah, we'll double Mel. We'll get Mel out there. We'll double her up. So 208 for Mel, and then we will promise we'll get you out there. If you are a loyal listener and you have not gotten the 100 ape, let us know. We love rewarding the loyals. So let us know if you have not been on there as we keep going, and we will definitely find a day as you're commenting and helping us out there. Cap, let's do this. Let's do daily market update. And then maybe more, if we can flip it in there before we get a couple of friends on stage. And I do have some other topics, but we'll figure it out.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on 8chain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, Feds Alpha never miss a beat. 8chain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, these now what's next. Come on, my head top, but you want the time to chop for one time.
It is time for the Daily Market Update, brought to you by ApeCoin, the home of NFTs and Project Raid. ApeChain has it all, bringing culture, fun, and community to the blockchain. Dive in and see why ApeChain is on top. Dive in and see why Project Raid is starting to take over the Solana ecosystem, as well as many others. Cap, hand it to you.
Yes, sir. Market kind of liked the CPI numbers. No god candles this morning. Bitcoin up 1%, ETH up 1%. That's 113,994 and 4414 respectively. XRP is flat, just below $3 at 299. Solana up 1% to 226. Doge up 2%, and Cardano, the stable coin of memes or blockchains, down 1% to 87 cents. Meme coin wise, Sheep flat, Pepe down 1%. This meme core that keeps popping is down 1%. Pingu down 2% after a big ripper yesterday. Pump showing up 1%, but I think it just went negative on the 24 hours. Same thing with Hyperliquid, two of the winners over the past week. Not ripping today necessarily, maybe a little bit of chop there. Looking at NFTs, we've got Moonbirds down 0.45%. Big announcement. I think I saw noon today is when the announcement is expected. Hypios, haven't seen those for a while, popping on volume. 50 of those sold in the last 24 hours. 57.49 hype is the floor. Apes up 2%, leading the way for the as far as volume goes with the blue chip collections. 2.23% of the day, up to 9.25. Mutants down 2%. Conversely, at 1.35. Art blocks again. Do we know when that Jack Butcherman is? Gas Wars.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention because I'm probably not going to participate, even though I know
I'm gonna try to fire just because tugging on my heartstrings with the Gas Wars. Little Pudgy's down 3.83% to 1.19. CryptoPunk's down 10%. Is that right?
I don't know. As a non-CryptoPunk holder, I am not sure.
Shimper Cards doing some. It's someone did some wash training. Never mind. Numbers don't math there. And Big Pudgy's down 1% to 10.25. I'm going to look a little deeper at CryptoPunks here. Oh wow. What's going on with these? I don't know. Disregard. Doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to go to Punks. Anyways, I'll go do some further diving there. That reporting looks a little off. But that's our daily market update, brought to you by ApeChain. ApeChain on top, the home of NFTs, the home of Project Raid over on Solana, as Steve just mentioned. I still need to get my mutant move now that I can't keep using the wallet excuses. I got to figure it out, and it should not be that difficult to transfer an NFT to a new wallet, but I need to get my mutant in the same wallet as my ape, so I'm getting the full multipliers over there, and I too will. I've not LP'd yet. I actually did move some ape over to a Solana wallet. I need to get that to work today, Steve.
Yeah, you got to get it over. You got to get going on Project Raid. It's weird. I'm waiting for. It's funny. I'm very complimentary of Wallchain having a pretty good leaderboard overall. I will say I'm not
going to FUD them now that you're falling down the ranks.
Well, here's the weird part. I did 14,000 impressions with a ton of quality comments yesterday on or something like that. It's 17,000 maybe on a post about LPing upon Project Raid with Ape. I fell 49 positions.
No, you didn't, sir. No, you didn't. Oh, never mind. That's my personal leaderboard.
I'm ranked 373.
Wow. Yeah, maybe it's just the lag. Our guy Dort's still number 1 though, so until he falls out of there, I gotta give Wallchain credit.
I mean, it's moving. Zier's moving up, Zier's moving down. So this may be one. I may ask Simple Farmer about this one, and just kind of basically be like, look, I'm not a hater. I'm just not understanding how like
I'm in the same spot as yesterday, so maybe it hasn't updated yet. I'm in the exact same spot. Though I don't. Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, on the Ape Chain leaderboard, I fell 688 spots to 805 somehow, and I'm 9th on 30 day. But so I don't get it. I will ask. I'll probably ask our guy Simple Farmer if he knows what's up with it, because it's not that I'm trying to like be the Farmore guy, but I probably talk about ApeCoin as much as anybody. And it's an odd spot to be in.
It's like a new campaign. I'm not even familiar. Hey Elsa just launched over there as well. No idea what it is.
Yep, it's some sort of an AI agent. So we'll definitely pay attention to that one. But yeah, man. A couple of things. I know we probably have some guests coming up here in a minute. Maybe we'll hit them on the back end of it. But we talked a little bit about the prints and how they are, supporting some rate cuts. Rect MoonPay, more Rect points coming for the MoonPay drop. So I'm going to be for sure paying attention to that one. Van Eck applying for a Hyperliquid staking ETF in the US.
Send it.
Van Eck, man. They love it. And in the interest of time, we'll talk about this on the back end. I'm going to do more, which I had brought up on Van Eck because I thought we were going to hit this earlier. So I will, I'll play that one in.
The more you know, brought to you by ENS.
It's time for The More You Know, brought to you by ENS. And we're talking a little Van Eck. Van Eck is a U.S. asset manager founded in 1955, originally known for being one of the first firms to launch gold funds and later pioneering international investing. Over the years, they've built a reputation for jumping into new asset classes early. Again, early to gold. Pretty good call by them. The same mindset carries them in crypto. Van Eck is one of the first traditional firms to push for a Bitcoin ETF, later following for the Ethereum ETF, and most recently applying for the Hyperliquid spot staking ETF, designed to give mainstream investors exposure to the DeFi style yield inside a regulated and comfortable, familiar wrapper. They've also leaned into culture, ring the NASDAQ bell with the pudgy Penguins mascot, and aligning with the Penguin token and its brand. It's a snapshot of how Van Eck straddles both worlds: serious ETF innovation on one side and symbolic nods to crypto memes and NFT culture on the other side. And that was The More You Know, brought to you by ENS. ENS does more than not just anchoring your name across Web3, but anchoring it across the internet. It's your identity. Simple, memorable, and unmistakably yours. Security, interoperability, and ease of use. Go to ens.domain. Secure your ENS domain today. We love ENS. Go get an ENS domain if you don't have one. As crypto becomes more ubiquitous, you're probably going to want to have your name that you can own. But Cap, interesting. Like Van Eck looking at Hyperliquid, I think Hyperliquid can be very sexy to TradFi. I think it's got a very sexy TradFi feel to it for people. So, bullish on that one for sure. And look, I'm playing a lot in the Hyper EVM ecosystem right now. I was telling Cap on Project X, I think I printed $100. I'm now at like $100 in fees in about 24 hours in which results atypical obviously for that. But $100 in fees in 24 hours on that, not too bad. That's $36,000 dollars a year if it printed that on a regular basis, which it won't, but enjoying playing the LP game right now and kind of leveling that up as we go, Cap. Because the pump token is moving like crazy. And the best part is the pump token kicks up, I just end up with more Hyperliquid. So, or more hype. So I'm not going to be mad about that on balancing those pools. So having some fun over there and playing around in those LPs as well. One other thing while we wait for, we might bring on some special guests potentially, like we said, Mega ETH might be coming on to swing in a minute. We talked a lot about the OpenSea farm and people, had feelings on OpenSea. I'm not trying to relitigate that. We've talked about this on the show before. I think I am 100% out on abstract farming. Like, Not that I'm not using the chain, not that I'm going to stop playing Gigaverse, not that I'm going to stop playing Pirate Nation, but like I got 9,000 points this week. It's my lowest in a very long time. I can't crack the system, which is totally fine. I'm not trying to crack the system. The distribution is so wide that I'm never getting to platinum. I'm sitting just fine. Like,
something's broken new because I had my biggest week ever, more than you, and you definitely do more farming on there on Abstract than I do. I don't do anything on it other than stream. And I got 11,000 last week. It was by far my most. I don't think I broke 10K before.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing Gigaverse. I'm not playing any games. I didn't play any poker last week.
I'm placing bets on Myriad. Like, I'm doing all sorts of
stuff. I'm not
doing
anything. I've tried to place bets on Myriad. I still can't get it to work for my USDC. So yeah, I don't know what. I don't think I did a single transaction on. I bought a meme coin, but that was this week. So yeah, I don't think I did a single transaction on Abstract last week. And it was my best week.
I mean, this is part of the problem. Is like they're like, just use the chain, but we're going to keep it a mystery. It's like
this is where it becomes an issue though, when people who are actively using the chain. It's just like I get the being opaque about it and not letting people, because then if they share the entire formula, people are going to game it. So I understand that. I think a little more descriptive program would be helpful for people like yourself. Because if you knew how to do better farming, you may think differently. You may continue to stay active instead of now just bailing.
Well, I'm completely apathetic at this point. I'm 435,000 into the platinum tier. So there's a 0% chance I'm reaching platinum by TGE. And when I look back at my weeks, it was kind of consistently 19, 20,000. And then last week, 15, and this week 9. And I'm using Myriad Markets. I'm using Gigaverse. I've spent money in Gigaverse. I've spent money in Myriad, obviously. I'm using Pirate Nation, the Proof of Play Arcade. I'm streaming. And so I'm tipping. So I'm just like, it's just the farm is like, and it's like, I don't know, like, and KZ in the chat saying, I thought they reduced the amount of words a week. Right. But Cap, who did nothing on the chain, outkicked me by more than 20% on this week in points. So,
I mean, I'll show right now. So
oh, wow. Real quick. Somebody in the chat, Thomas just hit something that probably was a huge deal. My Discord was connected, so I probably didn't get any of my bonuses.
Oh, so I just got prompted like before I showed this to connect my Discord as well. It was connected. I just got a notification to authorize and connect my Discord again, so I did that. But I'm pretty sure it was connected previously because I was getting the Pingu holder. I was getting the 25% bonus. And you can see I'm only 146,000 points into platinum. So really lagging behind you. But, 98, 95, 96 is kind of like my XP was, I guess I did get 10,001. So I take that back. I was giving misinformation. But 11,185 is my highest. And I knew anything different last week.
Yeah. And it's like, this isn't like, again, this isn't.
And I'm fine with this, but I understand your frustration where doing more and earning less, I'd be frustrated as well.
Yeah, well, and it's like not even like.
I bet it had something to do with your bonuses.
But it's not even like frustration as much as I've just become completely apathetic at this point. Like I just don't like. I use a couple of dapps, but like I don't know. Like we heard Abstract August. I don't know what happened in Abstract August. We hear like I see on the timeline all the time. You won't believe what's coming to Abstract next. But like I haven't seen it. We don't have flash badges anymore to participate in. I claimed all those for the most part, but they don't do anything for me. Which I enjoyed the collecting of the badges. There's a couple of games I like. I just I don't understand what I should be doing on this chain. I don't understand what I should be doing here. And like I keep waiting. They're like consumer crypto. I'm like, which app and what are the moves to go to consumer? Are you marketing towards consumers? Are you building apps for consumers? What are the apps you're building for consumers to use? So I don't, Rock Paper Hand says you just need to like send ETH, basically max send ETH to get it. It's, and Mason in the chat, feel the frustrations has definitely led to me spending less time on here because it's so unclear. Feel like the weeks I've used the chain the most, I get a tiny insignificant bump in XP or no bump or actually get less. The confusion has led me to use it less. Same.
Payne says a lot of people were nerfed hard, like 30 to 50%.
Rock Paper Hand says, how much did you buy your ape at? $1,000. Cap was 200. So, but yeah, we stream. We, do a lot of things on here. I like the streaming platform. I've gotten a ton of, I very much enjoy that, but I've had a similar experience to Mason where I will, 1 week, I bought a bunch of memes and NFTs and things, and my XP went up like 17 points. I'm like, all right, that's not good. And a lot of stuff went under there and it wasn't great. So I'm like, all right, well, like I can't justify spending time, money, and energy on something where it's like, yes, I want to do the things I like, but I'm also doing it because there is an airdrop coming. Rocket Rand saying streaming is low at the moment, like, which again, like, I like using it to stream. It got us to do video. Like, I'm grateful for that. And I'm not fudding them. Like, I'm not fudding the chain. It's just, I'm not sure. I'm just also not sure directionally where I'm supposed to see Abstract going right now. Like, I feel like we haven't had any like marketing or communications updates from the team that have been super significant towards the chain in a while. I feel like we haven't seen a ton of new dapps that you're saying, oh my God, consumers are going to be clamoring to use those and they make it really easy for them. Like, we've got a couple. Like, I think Proof of Play Arcade is good. I think Gigaverse is good. I enjoy that. I think Myriad Markets is good. But it feels like we've hit a little bit of a stagnant period with it. And
I think they're in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
I
mean, and I know our different time zones, so we may have to reschedule our special guest today that potentially join us. It wasn't a full confirmation, but it was, I'll add it to the schedule. Should be good. I just want to counter or like show what another chain's doing that hasn't even launched yet. And this is for Phonics. I kid, wink, wink. The first batch of Mega Mafia 2.0, more apps, more bangers, more ways crypto goes mainstream. Just blitz it. Gamified payments for Zoomers. I don't know what that is, but it's provocative. Trust the code, be the house. A fully trustless on-chain casino gambling platform. Cilium, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. Real-time motion graph for the future of movement. The era of autonomous everything is fast approaching, but today's maps were built for humans. By leveraging the gig economy, they transform footage into real-time, high-resolution spatial intelligence layer. Again, don't know what that is, but it's novel and provocative. The first culture trading social app. Again, these things may all crash and burn, but these are all, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 novel on-chain apps launching on a chain that hasn't even launched yet. Like, there's going to be more, not less, blockchains in the future. I really think it's critical that these chains have novel applications, that they have killer dapps. ApeChain is building out Otherside to be that. There's a lot more going over there, but no other chain has Otherside. If Otherside is a massive success, ApeChain wins. If any one of these 6 is a massive success, Mega ETH wins. I can't think of one that could be that for Abstract. And there's no offense to anyone over there. There's no offense to Gigaverse. There's some good founders. Let's be honest. Nothing's novel. It's a farm currently. People are doing things to play games or collect badges because they know it's pre-TGE. It's my genuine question, and check me if I'm off here because it's none of caught my interest. Actually, you know what? It's not novel. Myriad Markets is probably the closest thing to a sustainable killer dApp that Abstract has today. Is that fair?
I think there's a few options on there that feel good. So Myriad Markets.
But by comparison, so a few things that feel good. Do you at least agree with me?
I think they're playing different.
Mega ETH, it looks very different.
Right. I think they're playing different games. So for example, Death Fun. I like Death Fun. Like, it's a game that is fun that people enjoy playing. It's a gambling game. It's sort of when Jonah comes on our show sometimes and is like, gambling apps work in crypto. I think that sort of app can work. So
but every chain can do that same app. Like, I just don't think it's not a shot at Death.Fun. It's challenging Abstract to find something that's unique to Abstract, something that you can only find this thing on Abstract. And I don't know if that exists yet.
Right. Because Death Fun could move their dApp anywhere. It's not.
Or someone could launch a fork of the same thing. It's just like, and maybe the others could do this as well. It's just like simple gambling games like that. I don't consider that as, it's not going to make a chain, in my opinion.
Right. It's not going to make a chain.
It's not going to make
right. Like, if Abstract, again, I like Gigaverse. I like Proof of Play Arcade. I like Death Fun, right? Those three come to mind for me. I think those three, if Abstract doesn't do well, could pick up and move elsewhere and be equally successful or make it work. And it's not like sort of like part of like a robust ecosystem. Same with Myriad for that matter. And that's my worry about Abstract in general. It's just like I'm not. Yeah, I mean, when you say you think they're in trouble, it's like I'm trying to understand. Like, you can't make your when they came out with the App Store, it was good. When they came out with the global wallet, it looked awesome.
Portal's the best in the game right now.
So they have that going for them. So that is a unique thing. I don't think that's a moat. And I think unless you can scale that before everybody else copies it, what's the advantage there? So yeah, so I do have some concerns there.
Mason, a couple good takes in the Abstract chat. Ironically, I do like streaming. That's, but again, Steve and I would be like, I don't know, maybe we're still pre-TG, but I'm not nearly as bullish on the amount of free magical internet money I'll get for stream on Abstract that I am if we just go live on Pump Fun and stream for like a month over there. Like, creators are printing on Pump Fun right now, and I just hard for me to see that pulling through on Abstract. It's just going to be a much more crowded trade, I think. Mason says the irony too is if you spend hours on major dapps, which are gambling, so the player walks away negative EV no matter what if they spend enough time. Casino always wins, so get more XP potentially for the more you gamble, which again, not even guaranteed to get you the XP. And in Kazi says, but Mega ETH is showing updates and showing what they will have. Abstract doesn't do the same things. Like when that one update for Mega ETH, we got more of an update of what's coming and what's happening than we got from Abstract during Abstract August.
Yeah, it is. Man, it is a.
Can't wait for it to be taken out of context and someone clip me and Luke would start blocking me or something. I'm not fudding Abstract. This is just like yesterday. We're sharing our candid feedback, and you hear Steve, someone who's been like actively farming the chain, not aggressively, but he has been actively farming it from day one, is now apathetic to it, and it's like, I'm going to take my ball and go home or go elsewhere. We're going to keep streaming. We're going to keep doing the minimum, but I am concerned post TGE if they don't hit on one of these big wins soon. There's a lot of other chains to take your liquidity to.
Yeah, I went from like really, really excited to where I was, and Rock Paper Hands is talking like I was actually going aggressive. I was doing every single badge, I was doing every single thing. And again, maybe it's a spend a bunch of money, all those good things, but like, yeah, it's like there's the Tort saying I'm sure Abstract TG will get pushed to 2026. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is complete digression. I do. So the tab I have pulled up here remind us we should come back and talk about the OpenSea announcement as well when we're done funding Abstract. The other thing, I know I said it earlier. If I don't hit it now, I probably won't come back to it. This, like, I'm not exaggerating when I say MetaMask is broken. It's the most trouble I've had, and I'm not making excuses for myself on getting this ape out. I've been trying to do this every day for a week to the point I get frustrated. I've spent probably an hour a day attempting to get simple transactions through. Send 108, transfer an NFT from one wallet to another. This is my experience. Like, it is so brutally broken. I don't know. Like, it is literally unusable for me. Dwayne's like, can't even do my OpenSea voyages. Like, everything I've attempted to do with MetaMask, it is just broken. Like, they've nerfed their app, Steve. Like, it is, like, people talked about how OpenSea was like going to go down as like, oh, they fumbled the 3-1 lead. MetaMask said, hold my beer. Like, they went from virtually the only wallet people were talking about last cycle to it's become unusable. And I know as someone who switched to Rabby recently, even if it was usable, Rabby's just better. It's a better UI. It's a better UX. I can't even get MetaMask to work at all. Every time I do something, it is broken bad. Sorry. So continue.
No. You may be talking about the I mean, we can put a pin in Abstract. It's it is what it is. It's like I feel like they came out the gate really hot. And now, like, the feedback I'm seeing from people we've talked about on the show is that I'm hearing a lot of people like say like they feel it's clicky, which it feels like there's sort of these have and have nots in the Abstract ecosystem where it's like clicky, where certain people, the team's going to promote certain apps and things like that. Like, is what it is. I'm not like, again, not hating, just giving that I've heard that from a lot of people. But that happens in chains, communities, etc. I get it. The challenge that I run into is like, yeah, like I was doing everything, and then now nothing is coming of it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I, spend money on the chain and use it and it goes down. Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel good. And meanwhile, again, intended or not, when you have creators who are sort of in your, your chosen ones tweeting, which I understand why you should promote the people who do the best job for you. I'm not saying you shouldn't. When you have people tweeting, I got my highest XP week at 363,000 XP this week. And then I get 9,000 when I've spent money and done something. Not a ton. It's fine. It's like some on-chain activity, but it's like mine goes in half. I'm like, all right, doesn't feel great. So I think that's the other thing is like, I feel like people tweeting their abstract XP nowadays has turned into the P&L screenshot that makes people feel like why even bother? You might be referring on the OpenSea announcement to the MetaMask not working. I don't know if this is what you're going to or not. I went to connect my Coinbase account to connect my wallet. I click on MetaMask and nothing happens. Like I went to like connect it so you can get like some boosts and some advantages for using Coinbase One, which I already use. I went to connect my MetaMask and it just goes, it just wouldn't work. So I got to connect through Rabby. So just another example of broken ass MetaMask. But Cap, I don't know if there's something else you want to hit on.
The Coinbase One announcement, rock paper hands, appreciate the tip. And I'm not, I have to go back and read the chat over there. I'm not exactly interpreting which way if you're fudding us for fudding abstract and like telling us to go on Ape Chain does have games. Other side is not a game in itself, but it's got activity, and it's also not pre-TGE. So there's every activity over there is organic, so to speak. It's not pitting one chain against another. It's just real candid feedback. Like the portal's great. Like they did a great job launching the chain. They did a great job with badges. Here's what I don't understand, Steve. It's the same thing. Like people were talking about Blast. I think Udi took a shot at Ethereum, and he was just factually incorrect. Udi's a big Bitcoin bull, founder of.
Udi, the founder of Taproot Wizards, likes to FUD Ethereum. It's like one of his like pastimes.
And like saying all that, like because Ethereum, the foundation, and the inner circle ostracized Pac-Man. Yeah, maybe, but it wasn't because he launched an L2 the way it was because how they did things. And like Blast had the motion, they had the attention pre-G, they had some things that were working, and then they dropped their token and stopped doing everything. That's my concern with abstract. A lot of these people that are on abstract today are going to leave post TGE if they don't do something differently. They launched really good. They got a great portal. The badges were working. It was getting people, and then they just stopped doing it. And I can't understand why. Why stop doing something that was working? Like the motion that Pudgy has, like even talking about Pudgy parties popping on my timeline. I see it everywhere. I understand they partnered with Mythical Games there, and that's on Polkadot. I get all that. It's a license deal. It's not them building it themselves. The irony's not lost on me. Like they need a Pudgy party for abstract. Is this like, am I taking crazy pills?
Yeah, it feels like they need something. I don't know. Maybe it's just, this is the idea of like, you talked about feeling like OpenSea's TG is dragged out. It's like, feels like I think abstract's been dragged out just as long since they've announced it, that they're, hey, working towards this thing. And they talked about it being Q4. So we're approaching, we are here, right? We're going to have, September, October, November, October, November, December, like we're coming up on it. So I don't know, man. Like, it's just, again, it's not FUD. Like I like the team. I'm rooting for them. I think trying to build a consumer chain is hard. It just felt like there was this really big heat out of the gate. They launched a bunch of things that were really great. And then they just sort of stopped. Like, it was sort of like, again, the badges were a regular thing. They're awesome. They got me to use different dapps. They helped me discover some things. People were finding ways to game them. People were giving tips on them. It was on the timeline because of that. I used to see threads all the time of like, this is everything Abstract did this month. It was something I remember Shiv putting some out that were really good. And now it just kind of feels like, what are we doing here? So I don't know. I'm falling a little bit out. Like, it's just, like I said, I've just become more apathetic to it, where it's like, I felt like the chain had a lot of motion, a lot of excitement before. Now it feels like there's a few creators that they really like, which good for them. Shout out to them for taking advantage and grabbing the ring and making it work. But I don't think that I think, again, there's just a combination of things. It's like, seems like less. And also just, again, just being candid with it, when the team just continuously tells you like, oh my God, generational opportunity, this is awesome, put your money on Abstract and, call it a day, and like all these things. And then you don't see delivery on that. It's like, it feels very 2021-ish with the hype a little bit, where all you hear is the hype, but you don't necessarily get the delivery on that. Like, again, like, not being a hater, I don't know what Abstract August was or is supposed to be. I don't. That was like, and I know there's alliteration and it was just fun. Maybe they're having fun with it, but people talked about like, oh, saw the next 5 things coming down. You're not going to believe it. I'm like, with what? Like, Proof of Play Arcade, that was awesome. But I'm just not seeing it quite as much. So it's just like, I think the hype needs to match the delivery. And then there is that sort of like P&L feeling when I'm like, I see the timeline, I see 10 people post about their 300,000 XP days. And I'm like, I got 9 and I spent money. What am I doing this for? Like, it just feels like I'm like, okay, I could just, like, I did port some money from Abstract over to some other things I'm working on, some other farms. See, Crumb, I literally just jumped on YouTube to make this exact comment. I'll continue to farm it, but it's odd they just stopped doing shit. I have the exact same feedback. Feels like nothing new is happening, and they stopped doing shit. So shout out C Crumb for jumping on YouTube specifically to jump in and get the comment on the screen. Appreciate that very much from you.
It just seems odd, man. Like they
had so much motion, so much momentum,
so much, and you would think that builds. You want the flywheel to build. You want the snowball to build as it rolls downhill or gets closer to TGE, and it's going the other direction. And I want him to win. I want everyone to win here. At least those that I have bags in. I kid. It's a joke. I do want builders to win. I want them to attract more people to this space, and it's perplexing to me. I don't. Maybe the answer is Luca is just spread a little too thin. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm throwing out like why might this be the case? And yeah, the whole idea of Abstract August, maybe they misspoke and it's just supposed to be Abstract Autumn.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's an assist from someone said that in one of the chats. I don't even remember where I saw it. The chats are popping off today, so appreciate y'all. Oh, Jambert in the chat said, yeah, the Abstract Autumn, LOL. That's on point, Jambert. Appreciate you. Mason says the biggest gripe with Abstract is that you have teams like Bearish that have literally helped every single project on Abstract, including Abstract itself, and they still struggle to get support from the chain and the team. The hype needs to match with the delivery support to match the creator and the user support. Yeah, it kind of more as important, if not more important, than retaining users post TGE is retaining builders. And if you're not supporting those builders, what did we see happen with Blast? Like, as soon as the gold dries up, pun intended, they're going to go elsewhere if they're not getting support. It's not just about the marketing support. It's not just about the gold or the token allocation they might get. That's the hook. You have to retain them. That might attract them to your chain. It's not going to keep them on your chain.
The other thing. Oh, good. Sorry. Yeah. I had a whole different thought. Like, keep going.
That's it. Other than Niners are down bad, but that's a different topic for another.
Yeah, different. I was going to say the other thing about us that kind of I think is a little bit odd is, again, this happens to us regularly now, is they mentioned that they were going to support people who are consistently streaming, things like that. I look at the stream tab, and there's a guy who has 43 watching, that Flex guy that I think was live 24/7, 365. And then we have 14 people watching an Abstract right now, which I know isn't some massive number, but that's who are watching an Abstract. Above us, we have 9 watching, 8 watching, 6 watching, 5 watching, 4 watching, 3 watching, 3 watching, 2 watching, 2 watching, 1 watching, 1 watching, 1 watching. I don't even think anybody's watching the 2 streams that are in front of us there. we are like 6 rows down on the stream tab where we initially were kind of popping up top. So we're basically NPCs in the stream world there. So like, I appreciate everyone who jumps in and finds us on a regular basis. Cap's got 546 followers. I've got like 600 some odd followers. Not there's a competition, but if it was, I would win there. But Cap's got like 500.
So that's the other thing. Like you must have added more followers in the last week because I was ahead of you. So
let me go to my. Let me go.
You're adding followers faster, and I'm stacking more XP. Good tech. I like it. I'm a fan.
Where's my How do you find out how many people are following you? Oh no, you're right. I only have 465. You're right. You have way more than me. I was in front of you at one point. So I have 465. It's not a competition, but if it is, Cap would be winning. I have 465. Cap has 547. So we've got a decent amount of people who follow our content on there. We consistently watch our stream with more listeners or more viewers be pushed down 6 rows. It's like, it doesn't feel great on there. So I don't know, man. Jamber's got over 1,000 followers. He says all bots, but hey, take them. Those bots doing work. I am going to like shamelessly show something that I don't think, I know Nil's coming up here to talk to us a little bit. I'm going to shamelessly show something that's going to make Nil happy actually here in a second. Which is before we bring in Nil, I'm going to pin to the top. I have a ref link to this site Turtle. So I discovered this yesterday. I showed Cap this. So I moved money off Abstract onto Turtle. So right now, Turtle is a liquidity provider that basically is providing liquidity to various chains and protocols. Right now, if you click on the ref link, I pinned to the top. If you want to do a farm that I'm literally doing, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you should do it, but I'm telling you what I do. I am using Katana. I love it as an L2. It was incubated in Polygon Labs. It's a DeFi blockchain, very user-friendly, great UX, UI. Had them on the show. Really enjoy it. Their native dApp is really easy to use. They're earning, I think, 20% on their WETH vault and 40% on their USDC vault, something in those ranges. If you go on that Turtle link up top and you join via that ref link, and then you go to their campaigns on Katana and you deposit into the WETH and USDC vault on Katana. Now you have to bridge on Relay. You have to bridge stuff over to Katana on Relay. So you have to go to Relay, bridge onto the Katana blockchain. And once you have money on there in WETH or USDC, you can deposit right on Turtle. You are earning money towards the Turtle airdrop. You're earning money towards the Cat airdrop. You're earning Cat through their rewards program. And you are earning yield on your money. I moved money from Abstract over there yesterday. So basically, you sign up with the link up top on the Turtle link that I put up top. You get on the Turtle, and then you bridge money with Relay.link just over from your wallet from one chain to the Katana chain. It's, make sure you go to the right chain, but it's Katana. You can find it on Relay. It's got the blue and yellow kind of K symbol. You put WETH or USDC, and you deposit it right into the vault on Turtle. You're earning towards like 2 airdrops. And if you talk about it, they have Kaito campaigns going. So like I can do that, or I can put money and shoot blindly on a place like Abstract and hope that I get XP. I don't know, man. It was an easy decision for me yesterday. So like I told Cap about that yesterday and I was kind of showing him it, but it feels like an easy farm opportunity where you're earning yield on top of it on a DeFi based chain. Hyperliquid, big sexy DeFi based chain. Katana, very similar thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Big fan of that. It's funny. Mayhem says not a fan of Katana UI. Never like cartoons in my apps. There's no cartoons on the Katana UI. You just click buttons. It makes it easy. You can bridge over in that UI. But I don't know, Cap. I saw Big Nil jump up. GM, sir, how you doing? You've been active on the timeline. How are you feeling about this conversation? What brought you up?
Yeah, we're working hard, brother. We all are out here. But like, so I would say a multitude of things brought me up, and it's just I want to preface by saying, as I say these comments, I just bridged a little bit more money over to Abstract and bought more Abster. Okay, so I want to say that before I say anything that I'm here, because as I work for an ecosystem, people take my comments and they think I'm fudding because I want my ecosystem to win. That couldn't be more further from the truth, right? I believe that as we build the ag layer and as everybody connects together, we should all win. I'll say that before I preface. It is a big overtaking to not only run the most successful NFT project currently in this market, right? And to also run an entire ecosystem and to all provide them unique support, you are naturally going to run across these issues. And I say this because we ran across these issues, right? Like when we were winning in massive loads in 2021, and Zed Run was in its heyday, and Sandbox was doing its thing, and all these other places were thriving, and we were doing all this great work. You zoom out for 2 years later, and you realize like it's unsustainable, right? So like I will say that I think that the bottleneck is almost by design to avoid that in some ways, right? Like overextending yourself is almost as bad as narrowing yourself. And maybe they're trying to find the middle ground right now, right? Like that's what I think really Abstract is trying to attempt to do is like, how do we support enough people so that enough people have success, but we don't spread ourselves too thin to ensure that everybody feels like it's so diluted, right? So like I say all this to say is that I just won't bet against those people that work there. I won't bet against Finn. Too much of a dog. I'm not going to bet against Raj. I'm not going to bet against Dyla, and I'm sure as hell not going to bet against Luca, right? So like, while I agree there are some flags that do like raise my eyebrows a little bit, and it makes me think how these things work. As somebody that works for an ecosystem, I want to keep these things in check because these are things that we struggled with. They're things that we're attempting to do better at now. And there's no perfect answer to this. All they can do is ensure that the right people feel support so they can continue to motivate their people to still transact there. And for me, it's still unique enough to me that I'm bridging over there as we spoke, right? Like I just bridged another $500 over and I just dumped it into Appster because it's the logo of the chain. And that is enough of a narrative for me to believe in it right now. And as I say that, I'm going to travel to a different world, play some Polymarket vibes, and also go back onto Hype. So I'm going to do some on-chain activity this morning.
It's good. It's a good take. And I would just add, not only does Luca have a thriving NFT project and brand and a chain ecosystem that's pre-TGE, they also have one of the most successful meme coins, or brand coins, if you prefer to call it that, of this cycle. And on what I see everywhere from marketing efforts is not Abstract. It's not Pudgy Penguin. Yeah, Pudgy Penguin to some degree. I can't say that. They were just in, what's his name? I can't dream. I'm drawing a blank. I don't watch the show, but some comedy.
That was not a Pudgy Penguin. That was like,
really?
that was such a play by, no one said Pudgy Penguin. No one said Penguin.
It was the actual stuffed Pudgy Penguin, though, no?
No, it wasn't. It was a different stuffed penguin. It was
Well,
not.
I thought for sure it was a Pudgy Penguin.
It was not the stuffed Pudgy Penguin.
Well played whoever spun that narrative, because they got me.
Yeah,
I thought it was a real Pudgy Penguin in the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone said that. And then I watched the clip, and they never mentioned it. They never said it. And you look at the penguin, it's not the same penguin that like everybody was playing around with as a Pudgy Penguin. Like it is a penguin.
Okay. Well, I take that back. But they're doing some stuff with Pudgies. But what I see all the time, especially what I'm getting served up on like it's all Pingu. Like the marketing efforts, like the marketing engine for Pingu is absolutely on. It's hard to like, you can't dispute that. You couldn't convince me otherwise. I guess Pudgy, but it's actually even the NASCAR, wasn't that Pingu as well?
That one was, yeah, it was
which incorporates a Pudgy Penguin as its logo. But my point being is it's like from a marketing priority standpoint, it seems to be Pingu, Pudgies, Abstract.
Yeah. Look, I understand everything Big Nil's saying. I understand it's difficult. And look, we're not fading. We like Luca. We're not fading Luca or fading.
I'm not betting against him. I did that once and it cost me 6 figures.
What I will say is that if this is the case, I'm trying to think of how to parse my words here. Running a 2021 sizzle playbook about you will not believe what's going to happen in August, and then you launch one dApp that people kind of notice or play with, or, oh my God, you can't wait to see what'll happen, or your efforts are want generational wealth, bridge your money over to Abstract, and having like team members and people like this is what they're pumping up. And again, I'm not talking poorly about anybody. I get it. They're excited. You should drink your own Kool-Aid. You do it all the time with Polygon, and I respect it. You should drink your own Kool-Aid. But like, the struggle that I have is I struggle a little bit with the really, really big hype not seeming to match. I struggle with the fact that people don't know exactly what's going on. I realize it's hard, but they have an entire team on Abstract, and it feels like there's a lot of hype marketing, and then the delivery hasn't been there, and they've kind of shut it off. Again, we haven't had a badge in months, and like that was a really exciting thing that I think a lot of people like. And I understand they had feedback, they didn't want to do it anymore, they felt bad, but it's like it got me to try new dapps, it got me to do things, it made me feel like I was accomplishing something on the chain. I mean, I did give some feedback about the size of the tiers because I will never make platinum, and so I'm less likely to grind or do things knowing that there's zero chance. And yeah, it's like a black box when you see that certain people are dropping 200, 200, 300, 400 XP and 1000 XP, and you're like, oh, it's probably because they have a pudgy and a little pudgy. It's also because they got this arbitrary super giga mega chad roll, whatever that is, that they hand out as they see. And I realize there's a lot of things that can be that are tough to do, but I think part of it is, and I see people in the chat, Jambert saying I dug the badge meta. I think the challenge is like it's not that we're fading Luca or Finn or Saigar or Dyla or any of our people over there, friends, people I like, people I appreciate. We love the streaming platform. We're grateful to be on it. It's giving us tips and we understand that meta. It's not we're fading. It's just from a feedback perspective, it's like it feels like things have gone a little stale, but the marketing effort has equally kept up in that you will not believe what's coming next on Abstract, and people talking about how big it is, and you can't like it feels like a BuzzFeed article in the mid 2000s every week. And so I think that would be the thing. It's like it feels like there's a lot of pump and hype, and then it's like, where is the stake with the sizzle? I'm hoping to see. And we have an active chat on Abstract. We have 14 people watching. We are 6 rows deep on the Abstract where we basically might as well be on the 5th page of Google. It's the best place to hide a dead body, right? It's like you can't find anything there. So we're like 6 rows deep on the Abstract, stream. We have more listeners than everybody except for one stream on there. So why? And so there's just these things that we put as feedback.
Coffee coming next week on Pump Fun. Here we go. So that's all we needed. Steve start fighting Abstract. Pump Fun. Here we come. We're getting Steve to launch a token. This might be this year.
Coffee with Captain launching a token makes me way more comfortable. It's like under the LLC of Coffee with Captain that Cap and I are.
It'll be my wallet that clicks it and goes. But yeah, it'll be. No,
but it'll be our business wallet, right? It's like the business wallet that's clicking it and going.
I ain't touching Pump Fun with our hard wallet. No, it'll be. I mean,
it'll be a Solana wallet that we could. You could literally set up a fresh Solana wallet.
It'll be a fresh wallet.
That's what we're figuring out how to do it right. But it's like you set up a fresh Solana wallet under the same entity that you use for our, obviously we have a, hardware wallet that we use for everything we do here. And that's sort of got our treasury and all those things in it. But fresh Solana wallet, great, fine. I'm more comfortable with that. But I just, I don't know. I just, I think that there is this, it goes a little bit to what I critiqued on Andrew Forte's, status yesterday, where he said long-term marketing is stupid. Which is like I don't know. I can't. It was filled with things. And then there was this awesome fallacious attempt to fallaciously discredit anybody who disagrees, who goes, people who have experience, I'm not experienced. I said something to the degree of people who have experience will tell you that this isn't true. I don't think they mean it poorly, but they're just arrogant. He said, people who have experience will tell you this isn't true. They are tone deaf. I don't think that they're intentional. They're just arrogant. I'm like, so you just decided that you have a take that is not true from everything I know from 20 years working in marketing and working in marketing communications to some degree in this space for 5 years. Then you tell me that if you disagree, you're tone deaf and it's because you're arrogant. Anyway, long story short, I think that's part of the problem we have is it's like we run into these issues with how people approach things. So I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm a fan. I'm not only rooting for Abstract, I'm a fan of several dapps. Again, I like Death Fun. I like Proof of Play Arcade. I like Gigaverse. I like Myriad. I like a lot of stuff they have. It's just, it feels like it's lost some motion. It feels like there's haves and have-nots. It feels like it's kind of clicky, and it's a very difficult thing to do. It's not a fading thing. It's the feedback of this is how people are feeling. Cap, I'll throw this back to you and get your take on this one, Cap. I think part of the problem that we run into is that a lot of these teams don't surround themselves with people who disagree and have dissenting opinions, or those people are quickly flushed out. And I hired teams at jobs that would push back on me and would disagree with me and would give me feedback. I do worry a little bit that there is this ecosystem that's very insular, that they love each other because they're all doing well, but they might be missing that, hey, 1% of you are doing really well here, and then 99% of people are maybe having this feedback. Maybe that's extreme, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people surround themselves with yes people.
Yeah, I exactly. I was going to say the same thing. I don't know that to be true. I'm not there, but I will say that if all you have around you are in your circle are yes men and no one's challenging status quo, it's a recipe for disaster. You need people that can speak freely and candidly and respectfully disagree with your takes, your opinions, your strategy, and fix things when they're broken. Not say, oh yeah, things are great, things are going well.
And I don't know if it's the case either, but it's just a matter of like, I do see like if you're like,
but I do think they have a good team. I do think they have a good team. I'll agree with Neil. And yeah, I just, if all the great team is just a glaze fest, that's can be detrimental.
That's it. And that's where, like, again, I'm not like saying this is the case, but like think about it. If
I also imagine the team is very close. Most of that team has grown up together. They've presumably done very well financially with Pudgies and that ecosystem. And they probably, I would assume, everyone on that team has a very high level of respect for Luca. That's a good thing. I just hope that they're also able to have real conversations.
Right. Because like, think about it. If you are on a team where people are working toward TGE, you have a lot of things going on. Like, we've talked about this with certain people in the space before. If you have a team where they say, well, how do people feel about abstract? Let me put something on the timeline. And people are afraid to speak up. We've seen this with creators where we won't call them out. There are creators who have put out bad content, but they're popular. And then we'll see people being like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And we're like, I don't think you really believe that. And I know you don't believe that, but you're saying it publicly because you don't want to speak out dissentingly, or you don't want to not comment, or you want to be part of the clique. Like, I think that happens with a lot of these ecosystems and a lot of these communities. And again, this isn't fun on abstract. We love abstract for streaming. We love so many things about abstract. It's just the feedback and the TLDR, because we've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole and the comments have egged us on a little bit, is it just feels like there's some things getting a little bit stale. And I want to see it do.
And it's not the right time to get stale leading into TG. Like, you need to go in the other direction.
Yeah.
Neil, while you're on the stage, real quick, unrelated, but kind of tangentially related, and you or a colleague may have already gotten a DM from someone else. Steve doesn't even know about this yet. So this is like breaking news, behind the scenes, real time. I have no idea if you're planning on going to Vegas next month for Ape Fest. A few of us are putting together a creator dinner and looking for a brand in crypto that would like to participate, support that, pull some additional content out of there. Understand Ape Fest is a competing chain. There's obviously Ape Chain representation thick there. If I'm not mistaken, though, I do believe Polygon sponsored Ape Fest 2, the best Ape Fest we've had yet, or at least from size-wise. I'm so partial to the first one. And Hong Kong was magical, but that second Ape Fest was absolutely bananas. And so, yeah, just no obligations. But I am putting you on the spot since you're on stage. Really more so just get in your ear so I don't forget later. But yeah, if there's any interest, you're going to be there, let's connect. And you may already have a colleague in your ear about this. Steve,
I love. You can always put me on the spot. I like the pressure. I thrive in that situation. So thank you so much for giving me a little bit of a boost this morning. Yes, I will. So what I'll do is, you all are overdue for getting on a call with Rudo, and just talking through creator efforts. He's heading up all those things. So I'll get in Steve's DMs and I'll connect you all on Telegram, and then we'll have some conversations over what support looks like.
Love it. Appreciate it. And I believe Rudo is probably who got DM'd yesterday from Laura. She's usually out there. I don't see her in the audience right now, but yeah, would love that. Appreciate the help. And again, truly no obligations, but if we're going to work with any brands, anyone in this space, it is important to Steve and myself that we are working with individuals that we respect and appreciate and want to support beyond any financial contribution. So appreciate jumping up on stage, and always enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, I appreciate it as well. And yeah, definitely we like the Polygon. And if anybody, by the way, Neil, if you are going to AFES, I think I have a +1 sitting around that is not going to get used. Originally, my lovely wife was going to go, but she is probably not going to be able to make it. So if people should so decide that they're going to AFES, so people are out there, maybe we'll give that away if someone's doing it. Not like you got to get yourself there, you got to find your accommodations. But should someone want to go to Vegas for a few days, it's just the ticket into AFES. But got that going for me right now. Cap, look, again, like I don't want to go down the route. I don't want this to turn into like FUD-fest like a lot of people are thinking. Thinking that's going on. But I'm excited about a lot of things right now. And the other thing about it that I'll say that I'll bump it up with, it's a competitive environment right now. It is a competitive environment. I just mentioned like I move money off Abstract because I couldn't figure it out, exactly what I'm doing on there. I saw my points drop dramatically, and I logged on to Turtle for some liquidity that I provided to do like a triple farm basically on, Katana, Turtle, and some Kaito leaderboards as well. Like just what I did, right? It's a competitive environment. So it is a thing where it's like being the only act in town is one thing. And I'm not saying this is the case with Abstract or anybody else, but like if you're looking for people who are going to farm, it's like I mentioned before, like, I mean, I've got, you've got Ape Chain on Wall Chain. You've got, Polygon. If you just stake your Polygon, you earn, and you're actually earning towards airdrops. Easy thing there. I was telling someone about that yesterday. Katana, the turtle combo there, right there, like doing that campaign. You got Project X, you got Meteor with their airdrop coming. More markets on Flow may or may not be airdropping, but it's there. You got Kinetic, you got, Yeet, the casino. We haven't even talked about that for a while, but like Yeet's got a casino going on. You got Mega ETH with the drop coming at some point. They're doing that. You got OpenSea, you got Abstract, you got all of these. So that's not even everything. It's like there's a lot of places that are competitive right now, and if you want to retain that attention, you need to figure out ways to make sure that it's really delivering. So I think it's just for everybody out there. Like I said, I'm probably in 20 plus farms, so just a thing to be keeping an eye on if you're working for a chain and doing that. But Cap, I know it is about 10 till. I mean, other things on my list. Probably no need to like talk about the CyberKongs drop. We hit that yesterday. Sort of became, people missed out on their Chipotle burritos. We hit Van Eck, wrecked MoonPay. We talked about it. It's going to be wreck points there. Looking forward to that. Gas Wars. I know you're looking forward to. Avalanche trying to get a crypto treasury going for AVAX. They obviously do a lot of really good RWA stuff as well. What else do you have on your tick list before we let everyone get out of here? Because
anything to add on this OpenSea announcement with Coinbase One?
No, I'm going to connect mine. The big thing you announced, I kind of said this earlier. I went to connect my account via MetaMask, and when I click on the MetaMask button, nothing happens.
So broken, man.
Literally nothing happens. I click on the other wallets and click on Rabby, and Rabby shows up. I click on any other wallet, it shows up. I click on the MetaMask button, MetaMask does not show up. I don't know what's happened to them. Like, I'm worried about I got to transfer things over. Like, I got to make sure I have my seeds and stuff written down because, like, I have a few accounts on MetaMask that I've transferred, like, my personal and business account over to Rabby, not looking back. I probably need to transfer my ledger over. Like, I haven't done it yet, but it's like, I don't know if MetaMask is just calling it a day, man.
It's wild. I can't even, like, it's not an exaggeration. It has become, I can't get a single transaction through. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. It is entirely broken. At first, I just thought, the UI sucks because it's hard to change networks now. And that was clunky and made no sense why they did that change. It's gotten progressively worse every day that's went by since the last update to where now it's nerfed. The entire app, the wallet is nerfed. I can't use it. Unlike you, it's like I have a few others I haven't transferred over. I need to get it done with haste because I don't want to get, like, it is wild how broken it is.
Yeah, completely broken. I am just completely, yeah, I'm kind of completely at a loss there, but shit, I don't know, man. That said, I know we're 9:54. Good show today. I think we went deep on all that topics. Here's the thing: is like it's tough. Cap and I are always honest. We were honest about Ape Chain yesterday. Cap had to put out potentially a tweet to say like, "Hey, JK."
No, I didn't. That was one of the posts I was like, I guess I did quote tweet Dort. I was going to add to it, but yeah, yesterday didn't feel appropriate. We need a nomination though. Yesterday we were candid and shared some feedback. Not even really Ape Chain, but the ape ecosystem at large, more so sad ape holders, Bored Ape Yacht Club holders, that I should say. Today we've shared our candid feedback with Abstract. What chain are we coming at tomorrow? It's not going to be Nil because I'm just asked Nil for money on stage. So it's not going to be Polygon. We need a nomination. What chain should we go after tomorrow?
Dude, great call. I don't know. I mean, look, you will not catch me slipping on Polygon. I like the purple chain. I have for a while. and I am a fan of, like I said, I'm using real things on Polygon, and I mean, again, people want to talk about real dapps. Look at Billions, look at Maiden, look at Katana as a chain, look at Polymarket, like, and then just look at what you get for staking. Like, I'm not just trying to pump it up because Neil's on the stage. Like, this is something that obviously I said in the timeline, and I've been out there with it. It's like, I appreciate real builders who build real shit. And when I look at, again, Katana, Billions, Maiden, I look at, like, you know, like the idea of private blockchains is important, right? Like, that's important. And so I think there's so many things that you can look at on the chain, and obviously Polymarket, which is like mentioned on mainstream news. It's like, and then again, the staking, you can literally just stake Polygon and you are earning towards airdrops and doing nothing else. So if you believe in the Polygon token, if you believe in Pol, or Pol, I suppose is kind of how a lot of people pronounce it, even though I'm always like, it's sort of like GIF versus GIF, where it's like people say it's GIF, but I'm like, but it stands for graphical interface. And people say Pol, and I'm like, but it stands for Polygon. Anyway, that's a whole nother problem I have. That's a me issue. I will die on the GIF hill. I don't care what people, the creator says it. I'm like, the creator doesn't get to invent the English language. So graphical interface, the G, graphical interface format, the G is graphical, so it's GIF. I'm
old enough to remember it used to be called Matic.
Oh yeah. Well, Matic is now Pol, right? Like, so it's or Pol, but Pol. I mean, look, Cap, yeah, like I appreciate that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll find a new chain to talk about tomorrow. But look, it's a competitive environment. We're heating up. We got a bull market. Airdrop season is coming. We got a space today to pay attention to with Moonbirds. If they're announcing a token today, good Lord, I'm going to have a decision to make about selling a oddity or a mythic, or keep it and hang it off for TGE. But I mean, it's another one that I'm sitting pretty on the leaderboard. I think I'm 15 on the leaderboard. So maybe worthwhile for me to hold those assets if there's that boost that goes along with it at TGE time. We shall see. I love my oddity. That's the problem. Like, the mythic is going to be a better payout. I love that oddity from Gremplin, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll list it high. We'll see. Are you letting birds fly? If I
only have the one mythic, so no. I'll hold it. I'll write it out, get the token. Then I'll probably sell the token, but I will, unless someone, I think I might still have it listed for like 12.69 ETH. So if someone wants to overpay for my mythic, it's yours. Otherwise, I'm writing it out. And if it does sell, I'll sweep a few more.
I do worry about mythics and oddities getting such a low percentage of the token drop that it's like, man, it's not going to add up when I should have sold. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I think that the unique, interesting dynamic here is Kaito. Is that Kaito leaderboard incorporating the holdings, and maybe you don't get that much directly for holding your mythic or your oddity, but if it might be outsized rewards for being in the top 20, which holding those will help you get there. I just like, this is, I like theirs. I think I said it yesterday. I also really like how the ape chain rate is going, and they're rewarding holding 500 ape coin or more. They're rewarding holding mutants. You're rewarding holding an ape, and the multiplier stack. Like, Amplify is evolving, and there's many ways to contribute to an ecosystem beyond just talking about it on Twitter. So yeah, I'm rooting that these campaigns go well, because to me, it's a good evolution of Amplify.
Yeah, it is definitely a good evolution of Amplify, but I could see them doing what Turtle's doing, where Turtle actually does this thing where they boost. So basically they, like, the money that you're getting or towards their airdrop comes based on the liquidity you put in, based on you holding it for long periods of time, based on you actually like investing in the protocol. And then you can get like a boost for referrals and a boost for Kaito. So it's not just a matter of like getting people to sign up. It's not just a matter of talking about it. It's a pretty cool campaign. So anyway, I need to talk about it a little bit because I can get that boost, and it's working for me.
Anyone that missed the claim, speaking of claims, claim for the badge today, I haven't looked. There can't be too many that are still in the running for the full set. Now you can go and purchase any of those on secondary, but there's not that many listed. And yeah, the full set orders are going to be rewarded handsomely here, or at least be in the running for a handsome reward. So if you missed that, it's CWC911 is the code today. That's op.xyz/claim, op.xyz/claim, code CWC911. Enter the code, and then remember to hit claim after you confirm the code. More on that soon, but only 20 of these days in total, and I think where today was 14, maybe. Does that sound right?
Yes. Yeah, because tomorrow's 15, and then next week we go through, and then we'll do the draw. Yeah, next week's the last week for it. But yeah, I mean, like 79 claimants so far. I would guess we're probably looking at 50 to 60 people.
I was going to say probably less than 50 have the complete set at this point, would be my guess.
So get on there and make it work. Look, that said, I mean, good stuff. I've got like a lot of like activities to do today. I'm excited. It's going to be a big work day. I've got exciting things. We got potentially a partnership launching next week, which is actually going to reward the community with some cash. Also, another one. So looking to finalize that.
I'm going to have to get a chair. The couch is the worst thing you could possibly sit on for streaming. My lower back is on fire. I'm trying not to look like too much of a weirdo, but it like, speaking of getting progressively worse every day, I don't know if I'm aging out quickly, Steve, but I'm gonna have to get an actual chair to do this.
I will see your couch and raise you that I have.
I'll trade you a couch that I don't own for a good office chair.
So I had for the first like year of COVID, when everyone's like, we're gonna go back in a few months, like so the first year or so of COVID, I was back there. My background was actually, you could see it actually. I did a Harvard Business Review live. I have some video from, you can see it. It had some Buckeye gear in the background. I was sitting in a stiff dining room chair with a card table in front of me. So now I have a desk and like a nice chair, but like was no bueno. That said, let's send everyone off another day. Let's go. I gotta eat. I am starving. I'm coming through week 2 of this diet, and I am crushing it, feeling strong, feeling good. Found some low calorie, good, like clean protein bars from ChatGPT that actually help me eat some sweets from time to time. So I am absolutely riding. Excited to kind of keep that going. And I literally might be down. I'm still going to be gross in shapes, but I wouldn't be surprised if by 8 Fest next month, I'm down 10 to 15 pounds based on how I'm just like ripping it. Just based on the fact that it is a crash diet. And then after 8 Fest, I'm going to jump right back into it until Basel. Cause like, I mean, I basically am just not eating carbs. Like it's not happening. Like I'm eating carbs in the form of fruits, but I'm not even really eating vegetables. I'm not even doing my sugar for my honey stuff right now. Like I'm doing a crash for a little bit just to get myself reset. But it's like, it's remarkable. Like once you get used to it, I'm like, I eat like half of a container of ground beef for like lunch with like maybe like some pickles or something and, season or whatever. I'm full until like 3.
Good for you, man.
It's like, who knew? If you eat protein like they tell you to and have a high protein diet, you stay full longer and you have cravings for less crap. Just didn't know. It's amazing.
So a couple of people ask where they can buy on secondary. OpenSea, Magic Eden, Mintify, all the above should have it. I dropped the collection link in the comments to Andrew, as well as over in the YouTube chat. You should see that there, Jay. It's the other page, other-page-badges. It's a collection, and you can sort by, I think it's creator is the filter, and just choose Coffee with Captain, and you can see them all there. And it's on ApeChain.
Yeah.
They're individual NFTs on ApeChain.
Yeah, so you can find them on there if you're looking or if you missed them and want to play the lottery game. But look, that said, appreciate everyone who came through this morning. Good show. Looking forward to tomorrow to finish out the week. We will talk to everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.